That name at Rucker Park, GA, getting ready to take on the Sacramento Kings without one LeBron James. And that has not yielded very good results for LeBron's teams. They have not won a game without him since 2016. That streak continued when the Lakers lost to the Kings and the Clippers in their first two games without LeBron this season. Here's Luke Walton on how Los Angeles will look to snap that streak while LeBron sits out with a groin injury.
Hey, Luke. Decision yet on JaVale McGee?
He's feeling good, so we're going to get him out there tonight for a little bit and see what he looks like.
I know it's been about getting his energy back and his wind back. How do you feel like you'll be able to use him since he kind of played short stints anyway?
Well, just, he's one of those vets we have on our team that's won a championship, so it'll be nice to get another, guy like that out there communicating, talking, playing. So he's on a minutes restriction, but how long we play him at a time will just simply depend on how he looks out there. It's going to be his first real action in a long time. So I would expect he gets tired quickly.
Gonna have him start?
Yeah, we're gonna start him.
Luke, we know what happened in the Sacramento game, but you spoke about how you really liked the flow of the game, the way that you played. What was good about that, and what can you sustain heading into this one against the Kings?
Well, our defense was good. Our pace was good. We were, getting the ball. We slowed down in the fourth, which we got to do a better job of. But I just like the way we were competing, moving the ball, sharing the ball, getting after it defensively, not giving. We did a nice job of getting Buddy Hield off the three-point line. It's a big factor for them. Now we got to do a better job on some of the other guys out there on that three-point line. But overall, I thought we played a really solid game for the most part.
You mentioned before you'd kind of crossed the bridge of Zoo in his playing time once you had everybody back. Any thoughts now how you might handle it?
Oh, he'll play tonight too. And again, it'll be something we're just constantly filling out. We have no idea what JaVale is going to look like right now, but Zoo will be on the court at times tonight.
You guys had 312 passes in that last Sacramento game, about 50 more than you normally average. What led to that degree of ball movement throughout that game?
Well, it's something we always talk about as a team. We want to, we want that ball moving. We want guys looking to attack and shoot when they're open, but if you don't have it, we want the ball moving. We did, one of the things I was pleased with in that game was the way the ball was moving. So we're going to continue to encourage that, and I think we're with who we have right now, we're at our best when that's the case.
What triggers that type of ball movement? Like what leads to that result of 300 plus passes that you always want?
Just passing when you should. It's simple. If you're playing with pace and you're moving it on to the next open guy, especially the way a lot of teams guard us, where they load up the paint, we're going to have open teammates. And if you catch it and you're open, let it fly. And if you don't, then move it on to somebody else and continue to play that way. Puts pressure on the other team's defense.
Do you feel like the team has to move the ball more with LeBron out?
Yes, I do. I think obviously LeBron being the dominant player he is, he can get double teams and manipulate matchups and get us great shots. With the guys we have and when we had success last year with these guys, we were playing fast and we were moving that ball and everyone was was making plays out there, and that's where we got to get to again.
Have you seen enough of that the last two games?
Yeah, the ball. Yeah, I mean, it can always be better, and especially from a coach's standpoint. Watching clips, there's plenty of possessions where the ball should have moved more, but it's for adjusting that quickly with the injuries we have now. I thought the last two games have done a pretty good job of sharing the ball.
You do have guys that are better.
JaVale McGee making his return, will be in the starting lineup after missing the last 7 games. And as you heard Luke Walton say, he will be on a minutes restriction. The Lakers have lost 6 of their last 10, has dropped the 6th in the Western Conference. LeBron James out the last 2 games, those both losses. Rajon Rondo now out a month after he returned to the lineup for a short period of time. Banged up team right now. GA, when you look at them going forward, projecting to LeBron's return, what do you foresee them being in the West?
It's hard to say. I think this is going to be a culture challenge. And by that, I mean, this is a stretch where you have to figure out how good we can be without him. And like, they should have the approach we're a good basketball team. Like, yeah, LeBron, we're going to miss him, but we still should be good enough to win basketball games. And they've had a couple games in this stretch that they could have won. So, you know, it's an opportunity game for guys like Lonzo to have more opportunities, not just to create, but to score. For Ingram, Lance Stevenson, guys like that, Josh Hart, they're going to need those guys to step up and have more of an impact on the game. And the beauty of it is, as a young player, I can guarantee you to a man, they're all excited about the opportunity to go out and play and be given more responsibility because they want to also see how much they've grown from a season ago. So if you're Luke Walton, that's the way you want to approach this. Guys, we're still a good basketball team. We're a playoff team without LeBron. And that's the message I'm trying to send to those young guys to get them to go out and play at a high level. And now it's just a matter of whether or not they have the confidence and the belief in their culture to be able to go out and perform.
Well, it's tough when you're missing one playmaker, but they're missing two. I mean, and Rajon Rondo and LeBron James that are the only two members on this team that have championship experience. And by that, I mean, that's putting a lot of pressure on Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram to play and handle the ball and distribute. Lonzo has put up some great numbers, but down the stretch, they've struggled to score, and they have a lot of wasted possessions in the last couple games. I mean, they were up 14 against the Sacramento Kings, and Sacramento came back and beat them on a dagger by Bogdanovich. So, you know, I think it's more so closing games where that youth comes out, not necessarily getting there, but closing. I mean, Kuzma's put up amazing numbers. He's contributed as well, dropping 30 in the last game. But it's those closing possessions that are a problem of who's the go-to, who's calling the plays, who is getting them in the sets they need to get in.
Candace, even when you say that and you mention the Sacramento Kings, I mean, this is a team that's a bit surprising this season, but it's because they're young players, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, they've taken their game to another level because they've had an opportunity to grow. So isn't this a great opportunity for Brandon Ingram, for Lonzo Ball to grow into those roles? And isn't this the perfect team for them to face in order to do so?
Well, I think it's two different situations. You're playing against the Sacramento Kings and you're playing against the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron. A lot of teams are looking at these games without a LeBron James and they're saying, we can go in there, we can get one. And especially on the road as well. I mean, Sacramento, the way that they played down the stretch with the passion that they played with, they beat them, you know, I mean, single-handedly. I mean, De'Aaron Fox had a great game, but they got some contribution from Bogdanovich. But at the same time, this is a time for growth, but they got to win games. Yeah. You know, this is the Western Conference. One or two games can separate them from being a 7 seed versus a 4 or 5.
Or being out of the playoffs. And the other thing I would say, like, to me, I look at the Lakers' issues defensively. Because in those two losses, their last two losses, they've given up over 117 points a game. So they've scored well enough to be able to win games. And sometimes, you know what, the other team, they get checks on the first and 15 too. Sometimes they're going to be able to get those stops. You've got to be able sometimes to get stops defensively. To me, the fact that they couldn't get those consistently down the stretch is why they lost both those games. And so if I'm Luke Walton, again, what do all the best teams in the league have in common? They're good defensive teams. If we want to be one of those teams, we have to be better defensively, and that's where they haven't been during this stretch. When they turned the page and became a consistent team, it was really because defensively they had improved so much from where they were at the beginning of the season. Now they've had a lapse back that they're going to have to try and reconfigure to get back to where they can win and have an impact on the game on that side of the floor.
Are there certain matchups that get you excited, especially young players? Because Lonzo Ball and De'Aaron Fox, I mean, that goes back to their college days, the first time you saw them match up against each other. This just has excitement, and it's good to see them play twice in the same week.
I think it's more so from De'Aaron Fox's point of view. I mean, obviously, Lonzo Ball is very nonchalant and won't comment in the media about rivalries. But you have those players when you're a player players that want to come at you. And you know it, and so you take it personal, and I think that's what Lonzo has done. I mean, his stats went up, and obviously his usage was higher, but that matchup has been fun, and I'm excited for tonight.
Well, keep in mind from De'Aaron Fox's standpoint, we're both point guards, and you were picked before me, and I want to prove I'm better than you. So, you know, that's a challenge that he has put forth. Give Lonzo credit, though. In the last meeting, Lonzo was terrific, clearly outplayed him, and that's the first time he's really outplayed De'Aaron Fox since probably high school. So that was an impressive performance. Let's see if he can match that and maybe get his team a win, because Sacramento right now, we talk about the upstart Lakers and them getting into that playoff contention. Sacramento's right there as well with their young core.
De'Aaron Fox, Lonzo Ball, about to tip off in about an hour. Can't wait to see those two guys play again. I got two more names for you.